I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. We have a lot of weather to talk about here, and we are going to be starting to seeing those changes right now. It is so much colder than what we were this time yesterday. Big weather changes are on the way, and this is just the beginning of it. Here's a look at our satellite and radar right now. Heavy cloud cover, and the cloud cover is thick. It really kept some of that moisture in the air throughout the evening hours, and some people even saw some light snow flurries today as well. I saw some in Cobb County a little bit earlier this evening, but since then we have dried out. Here's a very interesting weather story for you. Today our high 55 degrees, which is technically 1 degree above our average, but we got to this temperature really early in the day. I'm talking about overnight hours, because in the last 24 hours our temperatures have dropped drastically. In fact, we're 23 degrees colder here in Metro Atlanta than what we were this time yesterday. Blairsville 21 degrees colder. So you're definitely seeing some really big weather impact changes already. And like I said, this is just the beginning of it. Here's a live look at our Arizona Ave camera. It is cloudy out there and it is cold as well. In fact, our current temperature here in Atlanta, 33 degrees, but it feels like 22. That's going to be the weather story for us, at least within the next 24 hours. The actual temperature is going to feel much colder than what the feels like temperature is. Here's a look at tonight. 25 degrees at 1 a.m. You're thinking that's very cold. You're right. But when you factor in the winds, it's going to feel much colder than that. We do have a weather impacts alert for tonight all the way until your Tuesday, really going into your Wednesday because of this cold weather. Prepare yourself now. We are anticipating at least 60 plus hours of below freezing temperatures. So that means when you wake up tomorrow morning, it could feel like minus 10 to 10 degrees depending on where you are. And then on top of it all, we're tracking a little bit of snow chances for you for your Tuesday. Here's a look what our weather impact alert is for. Like I said, Sunday night until your Tuesday, that's our main concern right now. That doesn't mean that the cold weather is just going to stop on Wednesday. That means that we're going to start to see things climbing back towards our average as we get to midweek. But for now, we are concerned about the 60 plus hours below freezing. That means you need to protect your pipes, make sure that you are prepared for that cold blast that's on the way, and dress warmly. Try to be as warm as possible because it's going to feel very cold out there. Let's take a look at it all. Feels like temperatures for your Monday morning. A lot of people will be out and about early, even though schools and everything's closed. But some people are going to be out doing acts of service and going into MLK Day service things and just really enjoying the city. There's a lot of people in town for the game tomorrow as well. Make sure you are prepared that it's going to feel like 4 degrees at 8 a.m. here in Metro Atlanta. In the North Georgia mountains in Blairsville, feeling like minus 3, and even near Thomaston feeling like 8 degrees. And this trend is going to be continuing through most of the day on Monday. By lunchtime, feeling like 13 degrees. So definitely just prepare yourself. This is just the beginning of it. So tomorrow is going to feel very, very cold because we're not used to this. It's going to be a shock to the system. Even by Monday evening, feeling like 17 degrees. And once that sun goes down and the temperatures start to drop again, as you prepare for your Tuesday morning, this is a big weather story too, because on Tuesday, that's when the kids will go back to school. That's also when we could be going back to work. The difference will be maybe some snowfall. That could keep some people at home, but whether you're going outside to enjoy it, make sure that you are bundled up. Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. feeling like 22 degrees outside because of all of the cold weather. We're just talking about the cold weather. We're not talking about what our winter weather impacts could be right now, just the cold. There is an extreme cold watch and an extreme cold warning for our area. Here in Metro Atlanta and northward, we are in that warning. So that means it could feel like minus 7 to 5 degrees at any time within the next really 24 hours as we head into your Monday morning. And then below the Metro Atlanta area in that 285 corridor, feeling more like 0 to 10 degrees. And it doesn't matter where you are or where you fall on that graph, you need to be prepared for that cold weather. Here is another look at it all. So Monday morning, when your actual actual temperature is 17 degrees, it's going to feel like 5. Same for your Monday afternoon and even going into your Tuesday as well. So we're anticipating these really cold temperatures, and as we get into Wednesday, we'll start to warm up just a little bit. If you are heading out on Monday, great news. Plenty of sunshine. Unfortunately, that cold will just be impacting you very, very greatly. So 32 degrees for 3 p.m. That's what we consider the warmest part of the day, but feeling more like 23. Okay, let's talk about it. Here's a look at your winter weather alerts. What can we expect as of right now? Things change very fast with winter weather, but it's time for us to start talking about it. The National Weather Service agrees. They went ahead and they issued a winter storm watch. So what should you be prepared for? That's the big question. Tuesday through Wednesday, that means that we could be seeing 1 to 3 inches of snow possible. That meets the criteria for a winter storm watch. Could they downgrade this to a winter weather advisory? Absolutely. Could they upgrade it to a winter storm warning? Yes, but the likelihood of that as of right now, I'm not really seeing it for the metro Atlanta area. Let's time out what we know as of right now. Once again, things change. I'm going to show you 3 different models, 3 different potential outcomes that we could be seeing on Tuesday. All of them showing that snow coming in for your Tuesday afternoon and evening. That is one agreement that we have right now. So that's why we're starting to talk about this a little bit more. As far as totals and exactly where that snow falls, that's still up in the air, but I'm going to get into it. Here's a look at your Tuesday. This is around 3:30 p.m. This is more of a near future cast that we look at, something that's more immediate. This isn't a long range future cast. This is one of our closer models. So this is an updated version of that. Tuesday at 3 p.m. we start to see some snow falling and developing, heavier snow staying to the south of us. Once again, it looks like most of our models are agreeing on that the heaviest snow will be staying to the south. But as we get into your Tuesday evening, that's probably our best chance here in the metro Atlanta area based off of this model that we could be seeing some snowfall really starting to accumulate. But then by Tuesday night at 11 p.m., all of that is out of here. Cloud cover is still lingering, but the cold temperatures are going to be sticking around as well. So we could be seeing some impacts on those roadways wherever anyone sees any snowfall. From that model, this is a look at what that model says our snow potential could be. Maybe half of an inch here in the metro Atlanta area, which is less than what we saw around 2 weeks ago, which is good news. Heavier snow, though, staying south of us, really near Macon. Even Augusta getting in on some of that heavier snow action, 1.5 to 2 inches, which sounds like small amounts, but is very great for those areas that don't see that amount of snow and areas that don't have plows and things that could clear those roads off. That could definitely cause some major impacts. Here's a look at one of our long range future casts. What are we looking at with this model? It says the same thing. Tuesday around 4:30. This has it coming in a little bit later, but still a chance for us to see some snowfall here in the metro Atlanta area. Heavier snow, that's going to be in the blue. The darker the blue, the heavier the snow is. That's based off of our models. The wintry mix staying out in front. So our temperatures will be so cold that it looks like if any moisture sneaks in the area, it should be some pretty good snowfall instead of that wintry mix. But as our temperatures around 9 p.m. kind of fluctuate a little bit, some of us might see maybe a wintry mix, maybe like a sleet snow combo. But as of right now, still anticipating some pretty decent snowfall amounts for the state of Georgia. And once again, by Wednesday, all of this will be completely done. This is another model. This is our Euro model, what we compare to the American model, what I just showed you. Once again, same story. Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. So like I said, we're starting to see model agreement as far as timing is concerned, which is good news. That gives us more confidence to say that snow is a little bit more possible. But as we advance this model has a heavier snow creeping closer to the metro Atlanta area around 6:30 p.m. and around 9 p.m. That still has it lingering around and then completely wrapped up by the time we get into your Wednesday morning, but still seeing some impacts overnight as you head into your Wednesday. Now, as we compare these two models, this lets you see it side by side, the American versus the European. Which one will it be? As of right now, it looks like the European probably is the closest one. And when we talk about potential for snow totals, which is a little bit too far out, so this number is definitely going to fluctuate within the next few days, maybe around half of an inch. And that is here in the metro Atlanta area, which I think, this is my Danielle forecast. What do I think? half of an inch to an inch, most likely here in Metro Atlanta. North of Metro Atlanta, you're probably going to get even less than that. But down south near Macon, that is where they were going to be getting the heaviest of the snowfall. But as we take a look at what we can expect as low as, so that means if this forecast completely busts, maybe half of an inch. But if this forecast overperforms, maybe 2 inches. So that is where we're saying right now in the Metro Atlanta, what can we expect? Obviously, these numbers are going to continue to fluctuate over the next few days and really the next few hours. That's the thing with winter weather, so these models are always updating. So you have to stay on top of it and you have to keep your eye on exactly what's happening. That's temperature wise and timing of it all, when the snow arrives, when will it leave, and the impacts on those roads, especially for places that might not get any of this snow on a normal basis. They might not have a good way to clean those roads off. Here's like that 7-day forecast for you. We do have a weather impacts alert for Monday and Tuesday. Don't get caught up in those high temperatures. It's going to feel much colder than that. That's why we have that cold weather watch in effect. So make sure that you are prepared for the cold weather. It's going to feel more like the teens throughout most of the day for both of those. Also for Tuesday, that weather impact alert is for the chance for a wintry mix. As of right now, snowfall looks to be a little bit more probable, maybe around half of an inch here in the Metro Atlanta area. And as we head into Wednesday, our temperatures will continue to climb. It's just depending on where that snow falls, how much of an impact you will see. I think here in Atlanta, with only collecting around half of an inch to an inch, we should be in pretty decent mode as far as our transportation is going. We did really well making sure those roads are treated. And I've already seen some of our interstates treated today in preparation for the potential for winter weather. So that's great news. Just have to make sure that those places that aren't used to that, like near Macon, that is where people have to really be concerned. We'll keep our eye on it. We'll keep you updated and we'll bring you the latest forecast right here on 11 on Live Plus.